Stay tuned. Find out how you can invest and save a massive $400,000.
$400,000 discount.
It's crazy, right?
That's brilliant.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our exclusive event showcasing the Coral Residences. My name is Theya and I'm here to tell you all about it. Okay, right now let's touch base a little bit about the destination, the Maldives. The most common misunderstanding about the Maldives is that people like to think that they're the part of some country, like the part of India, the part of Sri Lanka, which is false. The Maldives is actually the country of itself. It has its own currency, it has its own language, and it's a country of islands that consists of around 1,200 islands, big and small. And right now, around 200 and 250 plus islands are occupied by the local residences and the hotel and the resorts. And also, the most beautiful resort in the world also located in the Maldives. Now, why the Maldives? The Maldives is actually the country that you can travel year-round. They have 4 seasons. Basically, season pretty much the same like in Bangkok. The hot, the hotter, and the hottest, and the rainy season. Or what we call wet season, green season, or the shoulder season. And the period of that is around like June until early of October by theory. And however, like the rain in Maldives is not as harsh as the rain in Bangkok, right? So basically you face the rain around like at night until early morning, and then you get to enjoy your activity during the day. Another thing interesting is that the Maldives is really easy to access. You can actually fly only 4 hours direct flight from Bangkok to the Maldives. And right now there's two airlines running the direct flight, which is the AirAsia and the Bangkok Airways. The investment point of view also interesting. Why the Maldives become like more and more about investment? Because the main industry that actually generate the main income to the Maldives is actually the industry of tourism. Having said that, any investment that concerning this industry seen as the investment that potentially has a high return, high stability, and high security. And now that leads to the tax, right? As the Maldives try to accommodate more and more for the foreign investors, they try to adjust the tax structure to be a lot more simple and easy. So right now, the Maldives become one of the most tax-friendly investment environments. Now let's take a look about our lovely island. This is our island, and our lovely island called the Kandima Island. The Kandima Island located in the south of Malé. Malé is the capital city of the Maldives, and if you don't know, the Maldives actually divide their country into 2 parts, north of Malé and south of Malé. And our island located in the south of Malé, in the atoll called the Dalu Atoll. Now, how you're gonna get there? How you're gonna get to the Coral Residences? There are 3 modes of transportation in the Maldives. To come to our lovely island, the Kandima Maldives, we can come by 2 ways. The first one is the fixed wing or the domestic airplane, gonna take you around half an hour, and then followed by the speedboat another 10 minutes. So the total duration will be around 45 to 50 minutes from Malé. The second one is the seaplane transfer, which is gonna take you short flight of the 40 minutes, direct from the Malé, and you land right away on our lovely island. Now let's take a look a little bit about our island here. As you can see, this is quite a long island, and it's not a cocktail, it's a long island. So from on the left and on the right side, it takes 3.2 km long. So this island is actually one of the largest islands in the Maldives. And here you can see like 2 names, and please do not get confused. On the left hand side is the resort. You can see like the white dot over here is separate these 2 business units. So on my left-hand side is called the Kandima Maldives. It is the resort, operate as the resort 100%. We do not sell the unit there, okay? And this resort has around 270 keys. It's up and run since 2017. It had all the facilities that all other resorts in the Maldives has. The dining experiences, the dining outlet, the spa, the beach, everything. And the most importantly, the outstanding is we do have the go-karting track called the fast track over here on the island. And it's not just a toy, a playground, kids go-karting. It's a real F1 standard concrete go-karting track. And another thing is we do have a play space that is actually, I call it as a playground of adults and kids. So this playground, like we do have the escape room, we do have the bowling alleys, we have the theater area, the VR experiences, the arcade. So basically it's a space where the parents and kids are actually bonding and having fun together, and that is what is special. For my right hand side here is our hero today, the Coral Residences. It's our real estate unit. So basically in the real project, where the white line, white dot is here, we're gonna build fence and the security. The best thing is if you own apartment in the Coral Residences or stay in the Coral Residences, you will get the full access to the hotel, anything you like. The spa, the beach, the go-karting, the spa, the gym, everything. However, the guests who book to stay at the Kandima Maldives, which is our resort, cannot cross this line to access any facilities of the Coral Residences. Meaning that whatever that's been built for the Coral Residences are preserved only for the apartment owner and the guests who book to stay in Coral Residences, that including beach also. So that is how we guarantee you the privacy. Now let's talk a little bit about the Coral Residences, our hero today. What is the Coral Residences? The definition of the Coral Residences is the collection of the luxury beachfront apartments. The collection of luxury beachfront apartments. Let it sink a little bit, right? We feature in total 40 units of 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom apartments. Our concept is easy. It's fully furnished, fully maintained, and fully managed. So basically, the apartment owner could just hands off from the property management and just enjoy their passive income. And the current status of the Coral Residence right now is under construction. And we're expect to be completed by March next year or Q1 next year and ready to be handed over to all of you by Q2 or June next year. Now let's take a look at a glance of our project. 40 units divided into 5 blocks. 5 blocks, right? We have block A, B, C, D, and E, having the facilities located in between block B and block C, right? For the 40 units, we divided into 20 units of 2-bedroom and 20 units of 3-bedroom. The facilities over here is we have the swimming pool down to the beach. We have, like over here that you don't see, it's the building of 3-story facilities that we're gonna have the supermarket, we're gonna have the gym, we're gonna have the 4 dining outlets, we're gonna have like a beach bar and the cafe. And now let's zoom in about our block. This is the example of block A, which is we already sold out. Each block has 4 stories, and each story has only 1 unit of 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom. So basically, one block is gonna have 8 units, 8 families maximum. This is a mood board, mood and tone. This is like, because we are the multi-properties, our color palettes will be earth tone, turquoise, bluish. It's really, really beautiful, really interesting, very fun. However, the most importantly for us is everything that is practical. Now, plan proposal. I'm not going to walk through all of this because I don't want you guys to fall asleep. But we do have 2-bedroom apartment at 202 square meter, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and 3-bedroom apartment, 252 square meter of 3-bedroom and 3-bathroom. Every unit of our project facing the sunset side and sunrise side. So all the apartment owners will get to enjoy sunset and sunrise. Now, you might think that the project is perfect, it looks so nice, but who the one who developed this amazing project? We are Pulse Hotel and Resort. Pulse Hotel and Resort. Unfortunately, our reputation has not yet preceded Thailand yet, but we are very, very strong in the Maldives. Pulse Hotel and Resort has been established since 2015, and this year is our 10-year anniversary. And right now we managing 4 resorts in the Maldives. We managing the Nautilus, the Nova, the Kandima Maldives that we've talked about, and Airy. The latest one we just acquired early this year and now under the process of rebranding. And the Coral Residences is the first real estate project under Pulse Hotel and Resort. Now let's take a look of who are our sister company under the same group, same umbrella, and same leadership. We do have the Blue Investment Private Limited. Apart from the hotel portfolio, we're also invading the airline and transportation industry. We own one of the 2 leading seaplane company in the Maldives called the Manta Air. So if any one of you been to the Maldives before, you must see this company. And our apartment owner, the guests that coming to stay at our resort will be flying with Manta Air. Apart from that, of course, we own a seaplane company. We also have our own airport called the Dalu Airport. Of course, the Dalu Atoll. Right now, the Dalu Airport serves as the local airport. However, right now we're working on flipping it into international airport. Well, to welcome the private jet, the direct international flights, and please bear in mind that when the time comes, when we become international airport, we expect to see the number of arrival of the guests double and triple, and that will definitely positively reflect on your return on investment of your apartment. The third one is EcoMarine. It's the logistic company, do the container. So that is how we import all our decoration, the furniture for our Coral Residences, our project, and the resort. Now, apart from this, the Blue Investment Private Limited, we also have the Universal Enterprise or the Universal Resorts. This company has been long-standing in the Maldives. It's actually the company that developed the very first resort in the Maldives since 1972. As of now, this company managing so many resorts in the Maldives, and few of them are also joint venture with a minor group. Now, apart from hotel portfolio, airline, transportation, we also invading into construction industry. We do have our own construction company called the Riolo. So basically, whatever that we build on the resort, our project, we're using our sister company. So that's why we can rest assured about the speed and the cost effective. We also have a travel agent, enterprise, and investment. Last but not least, we hold this exclusive right to sell the soft drinks such as Coca-Cola, Fanta, and Sprite in the whole Maldives. So if you see Coca-Cola, Fanta, and Sprite in the Maldives, that is ours. Now let's get back to the Coral Residences. Of course, first thing you need to know if you want to own the property in the Maldives is, especially for the foreign investors, there's a leasehold 100%. There's no freehold available in the Maldives because whatever in the Maldives belong to the Maldives, right? Because even local residences had to lease their land. So right now, our head lease agreements last until 2063 and have remaining year of 38 years. But do not be panicked about it. Do not be scared about it because our head lease agreement extension is already in place for another 50 years. So you all can enjoy this long security of 88 years. Now let's talk about the title. You might have the question like, okay, if it's a leasehold, then what my title is going to be as the apartment owner? Your title is going to be 100% apartment owner under strata title, which is the safest and the most recognized form if you want to own the property in the Maldives. Tax, of course, tax, right? This is what I'm going to talk about is represent only for the coral residences, okay? I'm not represent like any other development in the Maldives. So what are we requiring for the coral residence apartment owner is only 10% withholding tax. 10% withholding tax. Okay, so that is based on your rental income each year. But if you hold it for whatever years and you want to resell, then you have to pay 10% withholding tax based on the resale price. Because if you make money, make income from the Maldives, you have to pay the withholding tax. Now let's come to my favorite slide. Now, right now, who falling asleep, please do wake up. The investment highlight. Usually, our 2-bedroom apartment of 202 square meters, we settle at 1.5 million US dollar, up to 1.9 million US dollars. Depends on the location of your unit, and 3-bedrooms starting from 1.8 million US dollars. However, ladies and gentlemen, today is a really special day and we've been preparing you this exclusive deal. So 1.5 we do not sell today. Today we offering you 2-bedroom apartment at 1.1 million US dollars, snag 400,000 US dollar discount. And please bear in mind that this 400,000 US dollar is not just a discount, but that is your capital appreciation. Because if you go ahead with us today and you own an apartment value at 1.1 million US dollar, you walk out through that door, your apartment value will suddenly increase to 1.5 million US dollars. And of course, 3-bedroom apartment, we also have a discount, of course. Today, we offer as 1.7 million US dollar only. Snag 100,000 US dollar, or that is your capital appreciation. Now, the question is, what if I want to own it? What if I buy it? What do I have to do? Today, we not require 50%, even that super exclusive deal. We do not require 100%, 50%. No, we require only 2% the expression of interest. The 2% expression of interest. And you might thinking, but I never been to the Maldives before and I never see the project. Should I go ahead or not? Ladies and gentlemen, these 2% expression of interest are coming with the complimentary 3-night stay inspection trip for 2 persons. You go enjoy the project, you go enjoy the resort firsthand, go see the project by yourself, and at the end of the day, you telling me, Theya, that is not my thing, this is not, then, ladies and gentlemen, we're more than happy to refunding you 2%. It's fair enough, right? And then after that, when you agree for 2%, then we look up for the contract and the paper for 2 weeks. That will be another 28%. After that 1 month, we require 20%. And the last 3 stages of 30%, 10%, and 10% is stretching according to the construction stage. Which is, if we expect to be done by end of March, then last 3 stage is extended until end of March. Oh, damn it. Now we talk about the investment advantage. What you get from this? We are more than happy to offering you minimum 6% guarantee return on investment. Minimum for the first 5 years. What does that mean? That means that from year 1 to year 5, if any year between this, your return on investment less than 6%, we will top it up until 6% before we go deduct 10% withholding tax. And that's super fair. And if our project perform even better, up to 8%, then ladies and gentlemen, you will then get 8% because 6% is just a minimum. Now let's take a look at your leisure advantages, what you get as apartment owner with the coral residences. You get to stay at your apartment for 30 days per year. These 30 days can be split throughout the year. You can come 1 week, like January, 1 week April, 1 week in June, and also that's include 1 week during December, during peak season, which is New Year at Christmas. The best thing yet to come. The best thing is, if you don't come at all, what happened? If you put 100% in rental, if you put 365 days into rental, what's going on? The thing that's going to happen is that the gross pool share revenue for 30 days that you don't come will go back to your pocket 100%. So that's also either you choose between the leisure benefits or the investment benefits. But in contrary, if you love it so much and you say, oh Theya, I want to extend my stay, what I supposed to do? Of course, we grant you the 30% discount on the website rate. It's really special for you, and also you can enjoy the 20% discount across the board for the F&B, seaplane transfer, the spa, everything. You entitle 20%. And you get the full access to the Coral Residences facility, you get the full access to our resort facilities, and the last but not least, that is the optional, okay? It is not mandatory. We also provide you free of charge the 5-year residency visa of the Maldives. What is special with it? You can get in and out in the Maldives how many times you like. You can stay in the Maldives how long you like. And the most importantly, you can open the bank account in the Maldives. And what is good with that? The Maldives, ladies and gentlemen, good news, there has no global income tax. So if you have an income from all around the world, you can have them transfer into the Maldives, withdrawing the cash, then you don't need to pay tax. And that is actually where people actually get the advantage out of the residency visa. And now we are the example of the image of what you can enjoy on the island. We do have a spa, the tennis court, that is go-karting track, or what we call fast track. It's crazy. And we have the VR experiences, the bowling alleys, the dining experience, and all the water sport you can think of. So here you go, is the wrap up of our project, the Coral Residences. And the next, I'm gonna go interview with Chris White, the founder of International Property Alert. Stay tuned and do not miss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be going in depth into how to invest in the jewel in the crown, the Maldives. So I'm joined today by Theya, who works with one of the best developers in the Maldives. Over the next couple of moments, we're going to be talking about how to save money, make a safe investment, and get a great rental return, and that all-important capital appreciation. Also talking about who is going to use this property, how you're going to get that rental return. So Theya, thank you for joining us. So the Maldives, why the Maldives?
Well, the Maldives is actually one of the most a beautiful destination in the world. I believe it's in everyone's bucket list to go there. However, Chris, today the Maldives is coming to the new era, the era of the investments and the second home.
Second home. So yeah, I think a lot of people, they kind of look at more traditional markets, Spain, Portugal, Bali, Thailand, but really, I mean, the one that puts it on the map is the Maldives. So what would that process look like? What is the buying process? Is it easy to own in the Maldives? Is it hard?
No, it's not hard at all, because the Maldives is still very new destination. It's nothing complicated. Just basically, if you have a passport, then you actually can pretty much own the property in the Maldives. So it's pretty easy actually.
Okay. And then with that process, I mean, if a client reached out to you, what would that process look like? You know, the buying process, what would be their next steps?
So the next step, I would encourage our prospect to come to visit our project in the Maldives. And of course, we do have this in a special package that we curated, for the prospect, to come and inspect the project, experience the resort firsthand, to know the vibe, to see the show unit that we already have it of 2 and 3 bedroom on the resort, which is beautiful. You can get to sense the location of your unit is going to be, the view and everything. So yeah, and then after that, you get to decide, right? If you want to own this or not. and yeah, and then we just move ahead, like move forward with that.
Perfect. So one thing, I mean, I've been involved in real estate in 22, 23 different countries for over 20 years. I own a property company myself. I've personally owned over 150 properties in some of them chosen countries. And I always say the biggest advice I can give, the most important advice, is boots on the ground. So if you're there, you can see it, touch it, feel it, ask them questions, speak to the locals. And also, something that's very important is getting into the mindset of who your customer's going to be. I mean, for me with the Maldives, I worked in the tourist industry for a long time. It was always that dream destination. And generally, people save up a long time for a beautiful holiday, especially since COVID and people want freedom. So they'll pay a little bit more or a lot more to go to the Maldives and have that dream location. So with this, when you're talking about rentals, how does that work? Do the clients have to find a management company? Do they have to set it all up themselves?
No, it's actually like our concept is really easy because like we are fully furnished, we fully manage and fully maintain. So basically when the project is finished, we will like launch it as the resort, right? So we basically find the guests from you. Like the Coral Residences will be under booking.com, we're under our resort website. So basically we attract the client to come to stay at your unit for you. So it is really easy for the owners. Like you basically can hands off from the property management because we're going to do everything for you.
Perfect. And can they use it themselves?
Oh, of course. I mean, like if you own like the property in the Maldives, you'll get to stay there, right? So basically you'll get to stay there for 1 month a year, and that including 1 week during peak season, which is the New Year and Christmas. And this 1 month you can actually split throughout the year, right? I mean, you can come 1 week like in January, 1 week in April, June, and then December. So yeah, I mean like, and you can have your friends like come to stay, you can have your relatives, things like that. So it's really, really flexible, yes.
Oh, so if they couldn't use it themselves, they could give it to the friends or family?
Of course, absolutely. It's your apartment.
That's a great gift to have. If someone gave me a gift of a week's holiday in the Maldives, I'd be very happy. So it's kind of getting the feeling that it's more like a hands-off investment.
Exactly.
Or an armchair investment. So somebody living in the UK, America, Australia, they could take ownership. And it's great to have an investment outside of your home country. But all important question, what is the return?
Well, the return, we are super bold about that. We are super daring. So we promise you, we providing you guarantee 6% return on investment as a minimum for the first 5 years.
Okay, so when you say a minimum, how does that work?
So as a minimum at a 6%, but if the project runs as how it performed, and the return on investment in that year becomes 8%, then as the owner of the apartment, you'll also get the 8%. So it's not limited as a 6%. So it's actual, but however, for the first 5 years, you exactly know how much money you will make each year because we guarantee 6% minimum.
Perfect, so if I'm understanding this right, minimum 6%, but if the resort performs the way you feel it's going to perform, then it could be increased. So it's an uncapped earnings.
Yes, you got it right, correctly. Yeah, so I got a lot of questions of how can we guarantee this. It's like only based on like how the project's performance, things like that. So basically, from year 1 to year 5, if any year between this and your like return cash less than 6% before tax, then we will top it up until it's 6%.
And that's written into a contract?
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful.
So that is how we guarantee, like when we say we promise you 6%, you will get 6% before tax.
Perfect. So with this, I would get into the mindset of, like my bank account in the UK only pays 4%, and then you have to pay tax on that. And there's no appreciation, and then with inflation, that's ripping in and tearing into your investment. So think of it this way, you can buy a property in the Maldives in a safe location, in a project that's under construction,
Exactly.
And you've
yes.
got the show unit.
Yeah, we got the show units, and for 2 and 3 bedroom apartment, that is what we're offering.
Yeah.
And basically, whatever you see in your show unit is what exactly you're gonna get, because we are fully furnished, right? And even right now, our project is under construction, but we are expected to be done by March next year and ready to be handed over to you by June next year.
What's the delay between March and June?
So we just need to trial all the system, right? Like the furniture, everything, like decoration, you know, the dishwashing, everything. We need to make sure that it works perfectly before we transfer to our owners.
It makes it sound like you're going to stay in every single property and test it.
No, we're just gonna run the trial, right? But I mean, if I could, I would.
Oh, perfect.
Exactly.
And then for rental yields, for returns, I always look for properties with facilities. So could you tell us a little bit more about the facilities?
Yeah, so the facilities at the Coral Residences, so we are gonna have the swimming pool, right? And we're gonna have this like a three stories like facilities. We're gonna have the supermarket, we're gonna have gym, we're gonna have co-working space, we have 4 dining outlets, bars, and cafe. And apart from that, because it's located on the same island with our resort, which is up and run already. So basically, the apartment owner, the guests who stay at our project can access the full facilities of our resort also, and that include more than 10 dining outlets. We have the fast track, which is the go-karting track.
Go-karting?
Exactly, we do have a go-karting track.
That's a great thing
island.
to entertain the kids.
I know.
And big kids.
Of course, and kids and big kids, and it's not like the track, like, you know, on the sand and things like, no. It is a serious, like F1 standard go-karting track that we call the fast track on the island. And it's really, really nice, like activity you can do in the Maldives, right? Because we're the only resort in the Maldives that provide this kind of experiences. And apart from this go-karting track, we also have the area that we call the play space. That is actually the playground. That we have the theater area, we have the arcade, we have the VR experiences. If you play the bowlings, we do have bowling alleys.
Yeah.
So basically it's a place like parents and kids can mingle together, getting fun, you know, bonding together. So yeah, I mean, not so many resorts in the Maldives have this, you know, like the bowling alleys for once. None of the more resorts have it. So there's what are really special of the advantage, you know, to access all of this facility in the Maldives by being the apartment owners.
Brilliant. So one thing that always worried me about taking my 2 children to the Maldives was, would there be enough to do? But if there's bowling, go-karts, the sea, so you're getting a bit of everything. You're getting entertainment and the health side of this. So if you're in the sun, swimming in the sea, you feel healthier, you've got that benefit. So yeah, this is a fantastic design, a great opportunity. Yeah. And then with the buying process, I mean, how could somebody take that next step and then start their journey today?
So if you're interested today, it's a really exclusive deal that we're doing. We've never done this in history. So if you're interested to buy today, you just put 2% of expression of interest, okay? And these 2% are coming with the complimentary inspection trip for 3 nights for 2 persons. So this trip is include like accommodation of a best villa, include F&B, include the activities like you can go do the go-karting, you can do the bowling outlets, karaoke, and also including seaplane transfer.
Seaplane transfer? So
Yes.
You're going to take me to the Maldives, I can do all of that, and you're going to fly me in on seaplane.
Exactly, that's the best deal, right? And then the best thing is, at the end of the day, if you come to me and tell like, Theya, this is not for me, then we're more than happy to refund 2% to you.
Perfect. So it's risk-free. Get to find out about the Maldives, get boots on the ground, get to see it, touch it, feel it, get that feel, swim in the sea.
Of course, we can go do snorkeling. Like if you do diving, be my guest.
Diving?
Diving.
This just sounds like heaven. And then if I get there, and it's not for me, we get the 2% back.
Of course, you get a 2% back.
Okay, and then if it is for me, and it sounds like it's for me and it's going to be for many people, what special offers have you got for us?
So today is really special again, Chris. Like we never done this. It cost my career to come up with this deal. Is we are gonna snag you $400,000 discount.
400,000 discount.
It's crazy, right?
That's brilliant.
That's brilliant, crazy, and it's valid only today.
Today.
Only today until midnight today. After midnight, the deal off the table.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you can save a massive $400,000. Book your trip, go to the Maldives, experience everything. Important to learn about the buying process, check that this is for you, get boots on the ground, make sure that you feel that the rental yield is going to match and beat your current investment. So to me, this is a fantastic deal. Just want to say thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank
Lovely
you.
to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for the Q&A.